Hello and welcome back to Tactical Tuesday with Johnny Tiger on April 11th, 2023. That got a kind of nostalgic sounding to it. Oh yeah, because we talked about this earlier. So yeah, today we are going to look at another knife. But this time it's a little bit different because I actually have no idea what this knife, like what brand this is. What's the origin of this knife? It's a karambit. I know that much. Um, I received this knife from my sensei um, about 4 years ago, and he at the time he already owned it for quite a long time, and I don't think he even remember what this was supposed to be. And there's no box, no certificate with it. He just handed it to me uh, as a gift, just as you guys are looking at it in its sheath, the way it is. So I have no idea what this is. So maybe, hopefully, someone who sees this video will be able to identify what knife this is. And if someone does recognize it and let me know, then I will edit the title of the video to include the name of this knife. But I do want to talk about it because it is an interesting one. This is an interesting kind of a heavy duty karambit knife. So first off, this knife has a handle that uh, is scaled in G10. I believe that is G10 scale on the handle. The handle is about 5 inches long. The blade itself is about 4.5 inches long, and the whole length of the knife is just around 9 inches. It's a little bit hard to measure a karambit because of how curved it is. So depending on how you measure it, it will be give or take 9 inches or 8.5. It comes with this nylon sheath, which honestly, like I've mentioned this before, I hate nylon sheath with a passion. Sometimes the knife itself can be so good, and then because it comes with a flimsy nylon sheath, uh, it just feels so cheap in the hand. Like the sheath really does bring down the knife in the case of sheath like this. Not to mention nylon sheath that's notoriously dangerous. I can't even begin to tell you how many people got injured carrying a sheath knife in the nylon sheath. Because a lot of time the nylon sheath like this, if you stick the knife in hard enough, or when you're moving around with the knife on your belt and this is scraping, it will actually poke through the sheath because the sheath is not solid enough. So, yeah, personally, I really hate the nylon sheath. And this particular nylon sheath is even more obnoxious than usual. We'll get to that in a little bit. On the sheath itself, this knife does come with an interesting little gadget. It has a fire striker. Yeah, so if you're out there in the wilderness and need to build a fire, it comes with a little fire striker and this thing here, I guess. What is that? That's a slate, I guess. Uh, Basically a little fire starting kit right there in the little pocket in the nylon sheath. So okay, that part is kind of cool. I can't see myself ever needing to use that, but it's nice, a nice little inclusion. Um, Now let's look at the knife itself out of the sheath. As you can see, it's a full tang fixed blade, so construction-wise, it is solid. Chunky knife. I don't know what steel this is, since I have no idea what brand this is, so I can't even research what the material is. Um, as a karambit, it feels pretty decent in the hand. It has the finger ring, that the trademark of Karambit, of course, and on the back of the finger ring, there's even a little kind of a notch here, so you can have better thumb control when you move the knife in and out of your hand. So this is very good. Now there is a little divot here on the handle near the ring. I'm not quite sure what that is for. It has that on both sides of the handle. If you want to hold it like a regular knife in a saber grip or hammer grip, you can do that because there's some jimping on the spine of the uh, hilt close to the blade, right here where my thumb is. So this gives you a very good place to rest your thumb to cut with this knife if you want to hold it like a regular knife. And this does have a pretty prominent guard, so your hand is unlikely to slide onto the blade. However, I will quickly mention this. Uh, Even in my hand, and I don't consider myself to have giant hand. My hand is like mostly like medium. You can see that it's actually a kind of small. Okay, this it's a chunky knife, but the the hilt itself, it's a little bit small even in my hand. Like my fingers is kind of squashed in by the guard and the finger ring when I hold it in a regular hammer grip. Now, when I hold it in a karambit, reverse commando grip this way, then that's not a problem because a lot of my hand is up here where the finger ring is. So that's fine. But if you want to hold it like a regular knife, then just take note that this is going to be uncomfortable for someone with a bigger hand. I think I just realized what this divot on the hilt is for. I may be wrong, but this divot allow you to pinch the knife hilt and rotate it relatively easily. It gives a very good place for you to pinch the hilt, and if you want to rotate the knife in your hand. So yeah, that is kind of cool. I didn't know that before. Now, some of you are probably looking at this by now. This Karambit has a really weird feature. Uh, it has a heavily serrated back, like almost like it's meant to be like a hacksaw or something on the back end, right? And once when we're ready to do our cutting test, we'll see if that's actually work or not. I actually don't think that will work very well, because this is not like sharp serration. I think most likely this will just get jammed up in whatever you're cutting. But we'll see. We'll see when we do the cutting test. The curvature is pretty good. It's not as curved as a lot of the karambit I have handled, but it has a definite hawk bill on it, and it's pretty decently sharp and heavy. So it's a good solid blade. Now, it is, for the most part, a pretty decent knife. However, it is brought down uh, by the sheath it comes with. Like I said, already said, this nylon sheath on a pointy karambit knife like this is just not ideal. This makes me very nervous. Also, all the snaps and closure on this sheath, they're Velcro. These are all Velcro, which is just a big honestly no in any kind of knife that you want to carry outside into the wilderness and camping and stuff like that. Uh, this, if you start wandering around uh, and using this knife and using the fire starter these Velcro will wear out very, very quickly. Okay, so this sheath is just all kind of messed up. It's not a good sheath for this knife. Another weird thing about this sheath is if you can look at where the belt fastener, where the belt loop is, this is almost like made for a left-handed person because if I want to carry this like a karambit, which means karambit, like dry like a karambit, uh, this can only go on the left side of my body. That's the only way you're going to carry this like a karambit, unless you want to tuck it in. Uh, like if I tuck it in like this, then maybe, but then it's just so awkward to draw this. Not to mention all those serration on the blade is going to catch on your clothes at the moment you try to draw this if you tuck it in. So it's almost like this is made for like a left-handed draw like that. And look at what's happening here. When I try to draw the knife, this sheath is so flappy that it keeps wanting to come up with the knife. So, uh, yeah, this sheath just not good, not good. The sheath will mess up your draw, and it's kind of mounted on the wrong side. Now you can draw it like a regular knife if you carry it on this side, but it's not going to wear like a karambit. But if you have it on this side on the right side of your body, right, like this, and then you hold it like a regular knife and you draw it, yeah, much more slick. So this kind of similar to another karambit we looked at before, where it's made to look like a karambit, but the way they make it kind of make you have to wear it and draw it like a regular knife. It's counterintuitive, counterproductive. So note for anyone who's going to make knife or look at karambit, if you want to do a karambit, it have to wear like a karambit, right? The curvature have to go forward when you wear it on your belt, which means when the knife points forward, this whatever that clip or belt fastener have to be on the inside, not on the outside. Okay, so you can, if this was reversed, then you can actually wear this on the right side of your body and draw it properly. But the way it is, no, it's not going to happen unless you're left-handed. Now, let's ditch this stupid sheath and then let's do some cutting experiment. Again, we got our trusty old cardboard because I think cardboard is a sufficiently tough material. If you can cut cardboard with ease, then your knife is pretty good. I don't have a setup here to show you guys how we can cut like tree branches and all kind of crap like that. So we'll just stick with cardboard. Okay. So first we'll start with holding it like a karambit as it's meant to be. Okay. So this is a folded up cardboard box. So this is relatively tough to cut. As any of you who's dealt with boxes before would can attest to, this is not easy to cut. Okay, so we'll do a generic kind of uh, karambit. I don't know if you guys can tell, but entry is very good. So penetration is wonderful on this knife. And then once you anchor this in, these serration on the back actually help you anchor and kind of start digging. Okay, for that kind of uh, digging, wiggling, this worked really good. However, the serration on the back does bind up your blade. Okay, so when you try to pull this out, it's very hard. Okay, so uh, cutting, stabbing, this will go in, no problem. But coming out, good luck. It's going to be require a bit of wiggling. Now, let's hold it like a regular knife, and we'll try to cut using this to cut like a regular knife. Like most karambit, it's just not very good at regular cuts. So when you, yeah, when you try to cut it, like use it like a regular knife, this is horrible. It just takes so much force to get the tip into this cardboard, and you can't even slice properly. Now, what if we slice from the top? Yeah, a little better, a little better. If you slice from the top, if you slice like this, then it will bite into the cardboard pretty good. But the hawkbill curvature just makes this really strenuous to cut with. Okay, and this should be no surprise. I've talked about how horrible it is to use karambit as utility knife multiple times. It's just not good. It's not good. Okay, if I'm cutting a cardboard box, I need to exert this much energy. It's not good. Okay, now what if we use the serrated part on the back? Nope, no. This is no. This maybe if I sawing wood, maybe this would be a little bit. Uh, no. So the serration in the back, contrary to what I thought initially, it's not good. I thought that's what they were there for. I thought that's what you can saw things with, but no, it doesn't saw very good because they are not angled properly. They're not sharp enough on the inside, so they'll bite into the material, but they won't pull through. So in the end, I will say my conclusion with this is a fighting knife through and through. Okay, this is as a utility knife, it sucks. It's just like this is another reason why this knife is not kind of ideal to take camping with you. Okay? I don't know why they include a fire starter in the sheath, but this is a fighting knife. This knife is made for one purpose, which is when you run into a situation where you have someone you're fighting, you drive it in and then anchor it with the spikes on the back and start driving in and just look at what kind of atrocious uh, damage it does with that. Look at that gaping slash like that, right? So I can see that in a self-defense scenario in a fight, this is a devastating knife. Great for fighting knife, great for self-defense, very heavy duty, very chunky, feel good in the hand, can have great control, have things built in that's meant for changing grip, knife guard, very good guard on the knife. Um, so it's great. It's great as a combat knife, fighting knife, if karambit is your choice for fighting knife. But as a utility knife, holy crap, it's a piece of junk for utility knife. So anyway, I hope you like this little review demonstration, and if you know what the knife this is, uh, let me know in the comments. All right, I'll see you guys in tomorrow's Wisdom Wednesday.